Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to another episode of Lasty's Top 5. Now, it is that point in FIFA where I like to wrap up how I've got along with certain players and certain leagues during this FIFA as we get prepared and get excited for FIFA 17 coming up in the next few weeks. So I wanted to cover one of my favourite leagues in FIFA 16, which is the Serie A, the Italian league. I've used a lot of players from this league this year, and there's been some gems for sure. So I wanted to share them with you today and give a definitive top 5 of players that I've enjoyed the most throughout the year. Recently we've covered the French Ligue 1, we've covered the BPL, gold players, budget players, you name it. We've covered it quite well so far, and we're probably around halfway through this series. I've got the rest of the other popular leagues such as Bundesliga, La Liga to cover, and then some other different categories such as legends, maybe top strikers, all of that type of stuff to come. But if you wouldn't mind smashing a like on the video to start things off, that would be awesome. And we move on into the video. So my fifth favourite player from the Serie A has to be this guy right here. It is, of course, the inform version of Felipe Anderson. Now, what is so special about inform Felipe Anderson that is so different from his regular version? Well, of course, he moved from a left-sided player to a central item. I love it when informs have like position changes as well. Just players playing out of the ordinary position that we're used to on their regular card. For me, it makes it 10 times more value for money if I'm buying someone that I can use like up front as opposed to just a normal left mid that I could use his regular version anyway. And I have to admit, Felipe Anderson is definitely a bit of a gem in FIFA 16. A lot of people know about him, so I'm not going to call him a hidden gem, but he is definitely a gem of a player on this game. Loads of people use him, especially right from the start, because he was more of a lower rated, sort of cheaper player. I know that everyone picked him up in their initial Serie A squads, or their initial Brazil squads, that type of thing. And the thing that is different with Felipe Anderson to a lot of other players is that as people got more and more coins, they still kept Felipe Anderson in the squad. He didn't really get upgraded to anyone else because there's a lack of players in his positions on Ultimate Team in the Serie A. And he's just probably one of the best because he's one of the quickest, he's got great dribbling, just an all-round great player on this game. Now, moving on to my fourth favourite player in the Serie A, it has to go to this unsung hero that is Roberto Pereyra. The Argentine who plays for Juventus is probably overlooked by quite a lot of players on Ultimate Team because Juventus have so many stars, you know. They've got the Dybala, they've nowadays got the Higuain, you've got Pogba, Marquisio, so many awesome players that a lot of the time Pereyra gets sort of overlooked. And I have to admit, nearly everything about him is just fantastic on this game. He's a really well-rounded item. He's got great stats, including the defending category. So I feel comfortable playing him literally centre mid. Or on the other end of the spectrum, I could play him as an out-and-out striker because he's got great pace, great dribbling. He's got like a great physical presence as well. He's quite tall and he would offer as a decent target man. 4-star skills and weak foot, I believe, are definitely 4-star skills. He just makes great attacking runs, and I scored a lot of goals with him. He's also a great team player. I assisted many goals with Pereyra as well. And of course, just being a regular gold item, a nice rare gold item, doesn't really cost too much. And especially because a lot of people would prefer other Juventus players that seem to keep his price down throughout the year. He does offer a perfect link to Dybala and Higuain nowadays. Hopefully he's going to stay at Juventus because I want to take advantage of those links next year on FIFA 17. But Roberto Pereyra, definitely a great unsung hero on FIFA 16, and he makes it to my number 4 spot in Serie A. So now we get to that point in the video. It's my top 3. My bronze, silver, gold medalists. Who's going to be the bronze medalist in the Serie A for me? Well, it has to go to man of the match MORATA. I actually featured the regular gold version of MORATA in my top 10 budget strikers, or top 5 budget strikers, should I say. But this man of the match version, I've never used the special international man of the match version. Only used the 82 rated orange one. And he's insane. He's a great goal scorer. He's just a heightened version of the budget version, which is exactly what I'm all about. I should really try the team of the tournament or the international man of the match, whatever you class it as. I should really try that version because I think it's higher rated than this 83 rated orange version. I should definitely try that. I'm going to do that at some point. Maybe I'll make a final FIFA 16 video, as he's one of my favourite players. But goals galore from this guy. A proper out-and-out striker. Nothing too fancy, like only 3-star skill moves. He can finish on both feet quite nicely, and he likes the outside of the boot as well on his right peg, which is quite interesting. That means you get to score some slightly different goals and slightly out of the norm, like that goal right there in off the post, sort of half volley on the outside of the boot. He's also a bit of a man mountain, and he is a target man. Great header there in off the bar. I'm almost like heading that one in myself as well. I love that. I love any goals that go in off the bar, and especially a nice powerful brute force header. So man of the match MORATA makes it into my top 3 players in Serie A. So there's only 2 players left, and I wonder if you guys can guess who they are. I typically like players from Juventus, and I will tell you right now that both of the final 2 are players from Juventus. I just feel like they've got strongest players in the league for sure. It is CUADRADO. Now, of course, nowadays I think he's back at Chelsea. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for most of FIFA, he's had this Juventus card. And he's just someone I typically find myself using every 2 to 3 squad builders. Because maybe I've got a new Juventus striker to use and I need a winger to get him a strong link. Or maybe I'm using TOTY Marquisio or something and I need that strong link out on the wing. CUADRADO is just one of the best options that you can go for because, 1, he's not overly expensive. 2, he can do stuff like that. Probably one of the better goals I've scored this year on FIFA just because of the run. Do we megs him? We megs that defender there and we just smash it home as well. Fantastic goal there from CUADRADO. He is a 5-star skiller and like I always say when I'm talking about these, I'm not a greatest skiller in the world, but it is just good to have the option, you know, to be able to do the odd McGeady spin or some sort of crazy sort of fake Rabona type thing. It's good to have that in your locker because sometimes I do find myself taking the piss out of people if I'm sort of 3 or 4-0 up. I like to try and do a little bit of showboat, and I guess that's the only way you learn how to do the Kazooie-esque skill moves is if when you're winning you sort of take advantage of it and try and do a couple of new things. He's great with scoop turns, he's great with McGeady spins, and they are probably the 2 most used 5-star skill moves that I do with him. Of course, the scoop turn can be used as a 4-star skill, but not a running scoop. That is what really makes up the space. Super quick, super ball control like close to his feet and stuff. Just definitely one of the greatest players on this game for the price that you pay. So CUADRADO makes it into my number 2 spot. He gets the silver medal in my favourite Serie A players. Who's going to be number 1? We've forgotten one massive name, who of course has now transferred. It is Paul POGBA. He is now no longer a Juventus player and now plays his football for Manchester United, of course, in the Premier League. But this particular version, Team of the Year Paul POGBA, is nuts. Definitely my favourite Serie A player from FIFA 16. I'm sure you guys could have guessed that. Pretty sure he's up there as one of the highest rated players in Serie A. I know there are some top players that have outranked him, but Team of the Year Paul POGBA is the truth, for damn sure. Why is he the truth? Because he's kind of got everything you ever need in a player. I would happily play him at central defensive midfield. Like, he has got good defending, easily good enough defending to play CDM, and I'd play him as an out-and-out striker as well. It's a little bit against what you would normally do, but you could definitely play him there, and the way that the FIFA mechanics work, he would do a great job, because this particular version has got some sick stats. I can't quite remember if he's a member of Club 80, but if he is, he's a monster. Great physical, amazing sort of agility and skills. He's a little bit like Ibra, not in terms of just being an out-and-out striker or anything, but being sort of this tall target man kind of physique with the ability to have great balance and great agility, and he's really good on the ball as well. Typically those sorts of players are a lot smaller, so when you get, it becomes a real monster on Ultimate Team when you have nearly everything. You know, when you have a little bit of it all, you really do become a next level player. Team of the Year POGBA is that personified. I've scored countless goals with him. He is a member of Club 80, as you can see on his card right there, and 90 passing, 93 dribbling on this 6'2" man mountain. It's ridiculous. A great player to wrap up my top 5 Serie A players, my Italian league players, whatever you like to call it. they're pretty beastly. I know 4 out of 5 of them were Juventus players, but I feel that is just the way it goes. I tend to use more Juve players than anyone else, I guess. But they're definitely strong players. I'm looking forward to trying Pogba out in a BPL squad on FIFA 17, or of course I could try it on FIFA 16 now, but he's going for quite a hefty price, I'm pretty sure. That is my top 5 Serie A players. Let me know down below in the comments section who your top 5 players are. Do they match mine? Are they drastically different? Let me know, and your reasons why you like each and every player. That would be awesome. And again, let me know which leagues and stuff like that I should feature in future episodes. If you're still here and you haven't done so yet, I'd really appreciate if you could smash a like on the video. Really helps me out, motivates me to make more of this type of content. Hope you're enjoying the series, and I will catch you next time, guys. Peace.